I agree. It was not a classic.
All right, guys, fire away.
Tyrann, how you feeling? You were obviously out for 10 days with the COVID stuff. You missed Sunday's game. How excited are you to make your return this Sunday for the Chiefs?
Yeah, man, it's a big game, man. Big time opponent. Playing against some good football players. Just excited to be back, man. Really put my hand in the pile. Just continue to help this team win games. But it's good to be back around the game.
Did you expect them to play last week? I mean, were you going through the week expecting them to be up on Sunday?
Well, I was hopeful. I was really hopeful that I, obviously could possibly get cleared, before the end of the week of practice. I think it'll be tough on anybody to kind of not practice for 10 days and then, try to go out there and play a game that you got to win, at home. So I thought Coach Reed, training staff, I thought everybody really made the best decision for me, as a player. And so that was much appreciated, much respected, but very, very happy to be back.
What was that like on Sunday, watching from the side?
I mean, it's tough. Technically, I wasn't injured. I've been injured in this league before, and it's just when you can't help your teammates, it always puts you in a bad spot. But I was proud of the way those guys fought, throughout the game. Obviously, it didn't really start how we wanted it to, but I thought those guys, made the plays that mattered. That's why we were able to win the game.
As you mentioned, this was your second game. Physically, you feel like you're 100%?
Yeah, I think if I'm not, I think I'm getting there. So I think yesterday's practice was pretty good for me. Just going out there, having a full workload, getting back into the communication, just working with my boys. Anytime I see those guys, my teammates, it always gives you that extra energy, kind of uplift you. So just looking forward to kind of continuing to stack them, and then get in front of the world on Sunday night and show them what I can do.
You were being coached on the sideline. You had the earpiece in your ear. You guys always talk about next man up. What were some of the things you were telling those guys as you guys were trailing?
Well, I mean, it's highs and lows in every football game. Whether you feel like you're playing good or bad, it's ebbs and flows. And, but what I was trying to constantly remind those guys is, as long as there's time on the clock, there's opportunities out there to make plays. And, like I mentioned, I think a lot of those guys stepped up, made some plays when it really mattered.
How did you feel Long Thornhill did as you were watching him?
Well, obviously I thought, we try to hold ourselves to a high standard, in the DB room. And, I probably thought he didn't start the game how we wanted him to. But, he put his head down, man. He came to the sideline, he took the coaching. And that's all you can really ask for a young player, is to take the coaching, try to learn from it, and then go back out there and make a play or two. And, he made some big plays, in that game. I'm pretty sure it's helping his confidence as he go forward, too.
You know how film-heavy you are. As you prepare for Lamar Jackson, he's obviously going to get some of his, but how do you prevent him from really wrecking a game?
Well, I mean, it's mostly a mindset and an attitude. I think the last couple of times we played these guys, we've been getting their best shot. I think last year was probably one of those years that they didn't really do what they're capable of doing on offense. I think this year, this week, they're going to try to come in and just get back to doing what they do well. And I think the emphasis is more on, what we're capable of doing, how we're going to approach this week, and, just handling what we can handle. But as much as you get 11 guys to the ball, I think that kind of, helps when you're dealing with, the Lamar Jacksons of the world.
The last two years that you played him, they didn't have Sammy Watkins. He was on, he was on your team. What challenges does he present, from what you saw in practice, what you would go up against, to now see him on the opposite side of the field?
Yeah, I mean, Sam is a great player, especially when he's healthy. I think the biggest thing with him is, he's been around us a while, so he kind of knows all the tricks, and, he knows what to expect. So, we've added some wrinkles this week, just kind of throw things off a bit. But we expect his best shot. I know him competing against us. He know he's going to get our best shot. So he's definitely a player we got to account for.
And you obviously, the two games that you missed for Kansas City, you weren't injured on either one of those. But from the sidelines, how would you grade your DB class for what they did, especially with Mike Hughes giving me a game-winning interception?
Well, I think, at the end of the day, We don't want to give up 300 yards passing. But I thought those guys did a great job in man-to-man, especially in the second half of the game. I thought they competed well. And then, obviously, like I said, anytime you can make big plays in the game and get the ball back to our offense, that always helps the team. So just looking forward to seeing Mike and Travarius and all those guys continue to step up, and make them big plays, when it really counts.
Mike Martindale likes to run a lot of unscouted looks at offenses. As a defensive player, when you guys are running an unscouted look and something you haven't shown before, what's kind of going through your mind? I mean, is that an opportunity that you see to really be aggressive and get the offense, or are you kind of on guard? I mean, what's your kind of mindset in those?
Well, I think, most defensive guys like me, we kind of like that, because it's our time to kind of, depict to the offense. For the most part, those guys are, making us react. And I think anytime we can, throw something at them to kind of get them off, those is where those big plays happen, interceptions, the miscues on offense, all those things that kind of help the defense.
Given how much you love practice, Tyrann, just what did you feel like you missed or what you were longing for to come back into the building?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I just like being around the guys, man. I've been extremely blessed. I don't think I've ever been in a bad locker room, so I've been blessed in that part. But anytime you could come to work, man, and do what you love to do, with people that love to do it just as much as you do, is always uplifting, encouraging.
Being out for the reason that you were out, of course, COVID, does that give you kind of a different perspective on things?
Well, I think you're always appreciative. I know I am. Just all my life experiences is trying to bottle them up. I think the most important thing is to always be, appreciative, grateful. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. I know me personally, I didn't think I was, ever going to catch COVID. You know what I mean? So, but I did. And so it's all about how you respond. That's why I like playing football. It gives you a chance to, respond, to adversity, criticism. So I'm just looking forward to the challenge, hoping I respond well for my teammates.
Being back at Arrowhead, having all of the crowd noise, and that obviously helped you guys immensely in the second half. Now going on the road, kind of having the opposite, you guys having to now go up against the crowd noise. What's that like for you guys as a defense trying to stay focused?
Well, it's important. I think communication is always important, whether you're on the road or at home. But I think anytime you go into an environment like, the Ravens or, Seattle or New Orleans, you got to bring your own juice. Most of the people in those buildings aren't rooting for us, so it's going to be important for us to kind of show up with that attitude, that mindset, and just make the plays that kind of take the air out the building.
Okay, thanks, Tyrann.
Thank you, Tyrann.